As they tried to get their first home playoff win since 2008. Rip Hamilton, he was a member of the '08 team, and he shared his perspective on playing back then and supporting the current team.
Isaiah Thomas jersey retired, Joe Dumars, all the great players that came before us, and we wanted to play for them guys. So now we're the OGs for this young group of guys, so we want to come out there and support them, give them as much advice and much confidence as possible. It takes a village to go ahead and win a world championship.
That was Rip with our friend Lisa Salters during the game. So in the third quarter, that's where we go. The Pistons, they would go on a run here. We're going to start with Cade stealing the ball, pushing it up. Crafty gets in the paint, plus the foul. Okay, so just keep an eye on that ticker at the top of your screen. So it's a 15-3 run at this point. Duncan Robinson catches it, knocks down the three. All right, so now we're in an 18-3 run, 21-3 run now. Asar Thompson, cookies, steals the ball, goes the other way, emphatic slam, exclamation point, and look who is loving it. Another one of those legends, Isaiah Thomas, he's loving it. And then the Pistons are just continuing to pour it on at this point. Cade lobs it up to Duren. We wanted to see more Bobby from Duren in this one.
Yeah, we did, and we saw certainly 54 paint points last night. That was a big key coming into the game.
And the 30-3 run to blow this thing wide open.
It was a game at halftime.
This is when you can take your dinner break, Ramona. The Pistons still leading at this point. Cade sizing up Ben Caro, crosses it up.
Oh.
Lays it in. What a move there by Cade. So the Pistons defeat the Magic big in this one. The final score is 98-83, and now the series is all tied up at 1 game apiece. So Detroit officially, they snapped the longest home losing streak in NBA postseason history. Phew. It was at 11 games. Now, the last time the Pistons, they won a playoff game at home, it was May 26, 2008. And fun fact, the eventual champion of the Boston Celtics, our friend Kendrick Perkins, he fouled out of that game against Detroit.
You just had to do that to him, huh?
And game 2 is underway. This is one of the underrated rivalries in the NBA.
Well, big play.
Murray, the Heat. DiVincenzo for 3. Cash! And attack. You don't have to have a 3. That's a long 2. No good. DiVincenzo has it. Up to Randall. 5 seconds. DiVincenzo! A shocker here in Denver. This series is tied.
Go out for Jokic, Jamal, all the bad defenders, the whole team. They're all bad defenders. Yeah, they're all bad defenders.
Okay, I'm not going to use the same name calling that Jaden McDaniels did, but I'm just going to say the numbers show he may have a point because the Wolves are shooting at least 35% against each of Denver's starting 5 as the primary defenders this series. Now, the Nuggets, they had this to say when they were asked about McDaniels' thoughts on their defense.
Thoughts on Jaden McDaniels' comments about your team's defense?
I can't wait for his podcast.
They've just been saying a lot all season, all series, so let them talk. Let them get everything they want off their chest. We're cool with it.
I think narrative's really interesting, too. You hear so many things, and we've gotten really lazy in society. What's our defensive rating in this series through 2 games?
Really 109, right?
109.
Really good.
How is that?
That's fair. 6th best in the playoffs.
6th best in the playoffs? Oh. Okay. Next.
He said, next. All right, Anthony Slater has been covering this series for us. Slater, Jaden McDaniels, he's actually not usually a big talker, which is why I found this so interesting. He's usually pretty soft-spoken. He really, though, stirred something up in the Nuggets, but judging by their reactions here. So I'm curious if the players, are they still talking about this going into Game 3?
Well, we are, and I think they're a little annoyed by it, right?
Okay.
You know, Tim Hardaway did his shoot-around availability about, 10 feet to my right a couple hours ago. He got peppered with 2 more questions about it, and he was like, hey, it was 2 days ago. It was 2 days ago. But, look, it's the topic of the series, and it is a topic that should annoy them. It's an opponent saying how bad they are defensively, individually going down the roster, essentially. So Jaden McDaniels also talked at Wolves shoot-around today, and I asked him about that podcast comment. Here he is.
Adam said he was waiting for your podcast.
Who?
Their coach.
He said what?
He would like to hear your podcast.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. Podcast? Nah, that's not me.
Yeah, so, I mean, this becoming the topic of the series, one of the points the Nuggets have made is they don't need any extra fuel. This is Game 3 of the first round of a huge playoff series. But you've got to imagine, they're going to come out tonight, particularly on the defensive end, with a little bit more of a charge to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Since us still talking about is annoying them, I will leave that there. Before you continue to become the next member of the Blue Man Group with the lighting that's changing over there, let's get to a couple of injuries, because we know, Slater, that Anthony Edwards, who was already listed as questionable again with that right knee issue, but now we see Aaron Gordon has been added to the injury report as well. Who's in, who's out, what's going on there?
Yeah, we'll start with Edwards. I mean, I don't want to say it's a fake questionable, but it's what they continue to do. He's questionable for game 1, questionable for game 2, and he played a team-high 40 minutes. So expectation remains he's going to keep playing. We just got to see how the knee responds. He's grabbed at it a few times. On the Gordon front, it's trending in a bad direction, right? It was probable as of this morning, and it has gone to questionable. That trend line, I think, would make him more of an actual true questionable, and we got to watch his status, coming into tonight's game.
All right, that's something certainly that we will be keeping an eye on. Slater, go enjoy the rave, I guess, that's happening behind you. We appreciate it.
Big speech I should have. It was a Hall of Fame speech, so we should be good.
You know what? I love the confidence, right? So AJ, he makes it official. He's entering the draft where the top 10 overall prospects are all freshmen. This is according to our Jeremy Wu. And Dybantsa, the top-rated prospect, he finished the season with the 3rd most points by a freshman in Division I history, just 9 fewer than Kevin Durant with Texas. That was back in 2006, 2007. So how about a little top of the top? I know we all watched him early in the tournament throughout the college season, but why not? A little... Number 5, UC Riverside. This is at BYU. Cougs in transition. Dybantsa gives it up, gets it back, throws it down. Woo! It's the athleticism. The scouts are really
nice that he gave the ball up in the first place, too.
Yeah. All right, number 4, BYU at Baylor. This is the second half.
Drives on. Oh! Air AJ takes off.
Air AJ, the one-hander, and the little stare down afterwards.
I don't see many big guys that's got a first up like that either.
Right. Number 3, this is playing Pacific now. AJ takes the dribbler's cookies, and then he throws down the windmill.
Maybe windmill? What do you think, dunk contest?
Maybe.
I mean, he said the next big speech was the Hall of Fame, but, a couple of all-star press conferences along the way, potentially. At number 2, BYU versus Texas. This is the NCAA tournament. He was great in this game. Drives, a little pizzazz, two-handed reverse slam.
9-5.
Yeah.
9-5.
All right. And this one, BYU in Provo.
Right, in rhythm. No good.
One-handed?
What was that? AJ Dybantsa coming out of the rafters. Yikes!
One-handed?
Yeah, this man lived on the
Goodness.
top 10
And the stare down. I'm
all
into that.
season long. Hey, our college basketball and our NBA draft analyst, King McClure, he's joining us now alongside our Bobby Mark. So, King, I want to start with you here because obviously AJ is capable of making the plays that just jump off the screen like we just saw, but it goes beyond the highlights, right? What do you think is most exciting about his potential in the NBA?
You're absolutely correct, because when you look at those plays, it amazes you. But it's the versatility at his size. To me, that's what makes him so unique. We got to remember, he is 6'9", but the things that he can do a plethora of things on the floor, and that's what pops out. So let's watch the film, and let me show you a few examples, all right? So when he scores in space, Kevin Young did a really good job of putting him in space. Look at this. But the thing I want you to pay attention to is the efficiency with the dribbles. He's taking his time. He uses his jab to be able to create the separation, and that's Dalen Swain that's guarding him. That's a first-round draft pick, people, not just anybody. The second one is his passing, all right? He doesn't get enough credit for this. Houston blitzes the ball screen. They put 2 on the ball, but look at his eyes. He's reading the backside tag, so when Milos Uzan steps over, he's able to deliver that pass on time, on target, for a wide-open 3 that's high level. And right here, defensively, I wouldn't say he's a great defender yet, but he's a good defender. One-on-one matched up against another top 10 pick, Kingston Clemens, can create a high-level contest and be able to get that block and get off to running. I mean, when you look at what he
His ability to shoot the ball from deep something that he was working on. Shot 8 for 10 from long, from the top of the key. And his handle.
Yeah.
That's the two things that he is prioritizing in his workouts here. He went through about an hour. He's going doubles every day here. But, man, I think he might even bigger than 6'9".
Wow.
I think he might be. It's going to be interesting, his measurements when we see him in Chicago.
Right.
As far as what he comes in and as far as wingspan and height here. But he looked certainly impressive in his initial workout on Monday night.
And bigger than 6'9". I mean, that certainly is impressive as well. But I guess the question is he a sure thing to go number one? That is what scouts are asking. That is what teams are asking. And King, I understand you have your own draft board. Do you think that AJ is the clear-cut best player in this draft?
Yes, I do. And when I talked about all the things I mentioned earlier and how he can impact the game and more than just scoring, I think that's what makes him so unique. I mean, when you look at the first round, he is the most unique player that would be drafted. And at his size, if he's bigger than 6'9", oh my goodness, watch out, NBA.
Right.
Completely watch out, because that makes it to a different degree. But yes, I do think he's the clear-cut number one.
Well, and when you look at it, he's looking to become the first player to lead the nation in scoring and then go number one in the NBA draft since Glenn Robinson. But this is your top five, and you have Caleb Wilson going number 2 here out of UNC.
I love Caleb Wilson. I talked earlier about how can you impact the game outside of scoring? And I think Caleb Wilson has something that we typically do not see, and that's a motor. I mean, he almost averaged a double-double all season. And when you look at what he can do defensively, his switch ability can really guard 1 through 5, and at 6'10", his vertical explosion, that jumps out to me. I saw at times his ability to be able to stay in front of guards 94 feet. How many guys at 6'10" can truly do that? His impact is so much greater than his scoring. And I think from day one, when you talk about a guy who can contribute to a team, defensively, he's going to be one of the best players on that team. And I don't think he scratched the surface of what he really can be on the offensive side.
Well, particularly because he's dealing with injuries. But did you see the video that was coming out of UNC, right? His left hand right here. Yeah, this is it. It looks like it is healed just fine. Putting on a little show there. Dunking all over the UNC baseball team. King, thank you so much for the time. We look forward to chatting a lot more as we lead up to the draft here. But back in the NBA, Detroit basketball, the culture on full display last night. What did Cade and company figure out, and can they maintain it in Orlando? Plus, I mean, we're only at the game 2 mark of round 1, but man, the most interesting series, it's got to be the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, right? And now an injury to a